And again, just a gorgeous time to be outside. We've been talking about this, Brian, for really, I feel like this whole week at how consistent the weather has been. It's been nice.
Yeah.
And we're going to start to feel a little bit more of a cool down coming up this week.
Yeah, you know, we certainly got a taste of that out there today, Anna, and tomorrow could it be even chillier than the weather was out there today. Really, most of the week going to be dominated by unseasonably cool weather, but it's really going to reach its peak or bottom, however you want to look at it, going into the next 24 hours or so. We take a look at your wake-up weather for tomorrow morning. This is what you need to be dressed for first thing. We'll be waking up to about 45 degrees in Greenville, Lawrence, 44 you're expecting starting temp in the morning in Spartanburg, Clemson, low 40s across the mountains, and I think some of those higher spots could easily dip down into some upper 30s. Winds are going to back off somewhat during the overnight period, but with temperatures these low, even a little bit of wind is going to push our real feel down into the 30s. So more important that you bundle up heading out the door first thing tomorrow. Now, as for satellite and radar, all of this chilly air, the result of this cold front that's now offshore, moving through in the last 24 hours, just allowing this big surge of chilly air to come all the way down from the Great Lakes, moving in all across the southeastern United States here now. In fact, looking at the satellite feeds earlier on today, it almost looked a little bit like a lake effect snow, obviously not snow in this case, but a similar pattern where we just had this, sea of clouds kind of spanning out across the eastern half of the United States. And until we can get the core of this chilliest air to move on, it's going to take a couple more days before we get back to some gradually sunnier weather. Now, with these clouds that have also settled in over the last few hours, from time to time we have had some sprinkles across the area this evening, and those will persist in some parts of the area, mainly upstate, through about midnight to 2 a.m. But it looks like, at least for tomorrow morning, we won't have any falling rain, maybe some leftover wet spots depending on exactly how long that drizzle hangs out. But good amount of sunshine breaking out across the upstate. But just like today, whatever sunshine we have first thing in the morning gives right back to clouds, and yes, maybe even with this latest influx of some chillier air, another round of these spotty hit or miss showers. I don't think you necessarily need to have the umbrella fully ready to go, but just bear in mind you might run into a sprinkle or two at times tomorrow. And by the way, a high of only 61 upstate. We'll gradually moderate back toward the upper 60s and even one day there on Thursday in the low 70s. Friday looks like our next best chance for some rain and could be a bit more significant than the last couple of rounds. So some good news potentially for our drought situation. As for the mountain forecast, good mix of sun and clouds going through midweek, but a couple days kicking off the new work and school week in the 50s on Monday and Tuesday.